Good morning, everybody. It's Marty, the JavaScript party here. No Rhett, as I have my son's dogs for the whole week. It is, gosh, it's cold outside. It's not as cold as it has been, though. Unfortunately, unless I start Edge, I guess my little notification doesn't pop up. Let's see. Very curious. It is 8:33 in the morning. It is Monday, and we are um just trying to get some code done, get the week started. I don't see temperatures. Oh, 21 degrees right now. 21 degrees Fahrenheit. I think it's supposed to be like a high of like um 48 degrees today, which is like the warmest it's been in a long time. So I'm actually very much looking forward to work being done today so I can go 49 degrees is the high today. Now tomorrow's 57 degrees. So um tomorrow is just going to be absolutely glorious. And then we're back down to 47 and 42. But then Friday, 58 degrees. Oh man, that's going to be nice. Um, Looks like it might rain tomorrow. So there's that. So I definitely have been. So I've been making these videos for a couple of years now. Not a whole lot. Like I got like 450 subscribers or something like that. Not, not, I wouldn't say from a social media perspective that I've been very successful, but I definitely am happy that I'm doing it because one, like this, I watch my videos, right? So I make these videos, I watch every video. And so I kind of see how I sound, see if I'm picking up some weird little cadence or something, see that I sound okay, that my camera looks fine, so just in case every once in a while at work or something, somebody will be like, "Can you turn your camera on?" And oh, so sorry, so sorry. Um, but also like I just sort of my whole software development, I think what happens is, at least the way I came up was that I would do like hours of coding, like primal, low level, totally different sort of mentality coding for hours and hours on end. And then I would sort of think about it from like a human social perspective, like in a way that you could talk it maybe even with your inner dialogue or whatever in just like common American English, right? And so but it would be like for every hour of down primal coding I would do maybe a minute of human thinking. And now it's like with this, it's kind of flipped on its head. For every minute of coding, actual coding, I do like at least an hour of thinking. And so it's given me an opportunity to sort of come at all these issues in a completely backwards way from how I used to come at them. And I feel like it's been very beneficial. And one of the things was like in the very, very beginning of this application, I just kind of shoehorned in animation, right? So we had this animation, and in my mind, animation was just sort of this SVG and just doing tweaking the properties in ThreeJS at at every 60 times a second. So on every request frame, doing a small tweak to this ThreeJS animation, and that was like kind of the full variation of animations in my mind when I threw that when I set that up. So I just kind of set up an animation service just to kind of handle things. And then like as we've been working through things, it's become obvious that like other things probably need to be animated as well, and that are outside of ThreeJS. So things that are Angular or browser or something like that that don't have anything to do with ThreeJS whatsoever. But since I had an animation service, I just tossed anything that was in any way, shape, or form animations. And in any kind of if it was at all related to animations, I would just throw it into this animation service. And so I ended up with like a lot of unrelated things sort of sitting next to each other in the code. And then as I was coding, I started like coupling things that were used in like sort of the same name, but slightly different functionality, function over form, right? The function. Within this service, I would have things, and then I'd say, "Oh, I could use that," and then I would use it. And the thing is I ended up with things that really shouldn't be related to each other, having deep couplings to each other. And so now I've been trying to tease all that stuff apart. Um, and so before, at the very beginning, I started off with just separating like my ST stuff. So ST is my vision of the world, how I think the world should look, from the three stuff. So that was the first round, and that was hard, and I got that working. And so next, the next thing that I did was um, or so now that I've sort of pulled all that stuff out, I see that I have like this DOM related stuff, right? Like things that don't have anything to do with ThreeJS. And so now I need to try to pull these things out. And I'd made a little comment for myself, says this move this function to utilities positioning viz component layout class. And that was like in the middle of all that, I sort of ran into a bug that I run into all the time, um, as a development software developer, like where we get this cyclic redundancy check thing, and I was just like, okay, stop the presses. This is a bug that has just made my life miserable for years now, and I'm finally in a position to just sort of do like a Sherlock Holmes on it and just absolutely investigate it and try to understand every little piece of it. And so that was really good. And so in the middle of all that, that happened. And so now I've come up with this concept of naming things classes. So I have this three animation class that's inside of three, and now I want to make a viz component layout class. So it's about layout, and it's going to live in utilities and in positioning and components. And I don't know about that, like architecture in general. Like maybe it would make more sense. It seems like I have a bit of overlap um, in the services between. So this we want to outsource this until it's completely hollowed out, and then delete it. That's the goal. And then it's kind of weird for me to say those words because I feel like I've actually, as a human being, that's happened to me before. Like every little task that I do sort of gets taken from me, and then it's like they get somebody else to do it. And what's really bizarre about the whole thing is generally that somebody else to do it will just keep coming back to me, and I'll explain how to do it, and then they'll go, "Okay, I got it." And then a week later, they're like, "Okay, how do you do that?" And then and so then they kind of divvy out all the things that I do, and then to all these people, and then they fire me. And then those people don't have me as a resource to come back to because they've been reporting up the line that they're doing that task now. Um, but so it's just one of those things. But so I've been on the other side of that, of what this uh, animation service is going through, where it's just like, yeah, all of its work is slowly being outsourced until it's no longer, because it's just the animation's just too, there's too many variations in what could be considered animation to just have it in one service. And honestly, like normally I don't get that kind of time to think through those sorts of things. Usually I'm just moving on, moving on, moving on. But anyways, to do that, I'm going to close everything else but this one. Close others. And then, um, and I know that like when I first started doing like web development and stuff, like in the 1990s, I'd always wished that I had like a hobby because my hobby was coding. And like, so, but people that could build websites for their hobbies would get these really successful hobbies, but I just didn't have any hobbies other than coding. Um, so, um, so the reason I picked out ThreeJS is because ThreeJS is so effing complicated, and the reason I put animations in there is because animations are so complicated, and teasing those things together has been very, very challenging and rewarding for me. And then I'm hoping to get like music involved in this and a physics engine involved in this. Um, but anyways, so we want to create this utilities positioning viz dash component dash layout dash class. And what I've been doing, and I don't know that I think I just did this on my own, but I renamed this one to dot class instead of dot service. And I don't know if that's how they do it. And I'm pretty sure I've created a class, so don't want to look at it in that view. Um, so ng, see, I think it's nggc. I must have done that for. Oh no, that's component. Um, I want to create a class. Generate. Let's see. Do I have a help? I have this guy up here. Okay, so let's go in here. npm run ng. I think it's dash dash help, and that'll tell me what the possible things are for it. Nope, it wasn't dash dash help. Is it dash help? npm run ng. What about just ng? I wonder if that will. I think it's like generate. It must be CLASS or whatever. Okay, so this didn't seem. Okay, ChatGPT, good old ChatGPT. Can't believe I've just gotten comfortable with this AI thing. It's so sci-fi. Um, um, how do you create a class with the Angular CLI? Easy one. Okay, so yeah, you just put the whole class. It is kind of funny because yeah, normally there's like a single letter shortcut. Okay, so let's try that and see what we get. I have no idea what we're gonna get. Um, I think it's what March. In March, we're supposed to get Angular 22, I'm guessing. So that'll be fun. Um, let's see. What is this one called? We want to call this utilities positioning. I think it's in their services. So that's weird too. Yeah, services. And then utilities positioning. So we want it to show up in here and we want it to be named dot class, not dot service. All right. ng. So it's oh my gosh, I already forgot. Ooh, it's gonna be one of those days. I was so smart yesterday. Um, Viz component layout class. Uh, okay, so I usually put the letter of what I'm creating, so it's a C. And I guess since we're already using C for component, it goes class, and then I'm going to say viz layout, viz position, and then put a little parentheses there. And then it's ng class, ngg class services slash entities slash utilities slash, was it position? Or was it platform? Might be platform. No, positioning. Positioning. And then slash viz. I think I thought through that pretty carefully. Viz component layout class. I think I need to put the dot class in there, but I'm not sure. Okay, I'm just going to put that like that. No, I'm going to make it like that. I don't know how that's going to turn out. Let's see how that turns out. Okay, so normally I like to do this like in when it's all by itself as a commit, but let's go ahead and it might even make sense to like do like a commit, run this, and then undo the commit. It's just so I can see what the actual changes are, but I'm just going to go with this. So we're looking for it to show up, in here, in there, in that positioning. And I'm hoping it'll be dot class, but I don't think it will, but we'll see. npm run class viz position. All right, what did we get? Okay, so it doesn't. Okay, so it's not utilities isn't in here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get rid of this. But did it make it the class? It did not make it dot class. All right, so I don't want this. So let's go ahead and delete it. And that's like kind of one of the reasons. Oh, cancel. Okay. Well, that was weird. I don't know what we just did. I hope we didn't just. Does it still build? Okay, it still builds. So it was like, oh shit. Okay, so services, and then it goes in utilities. So we don't want this entities. Utilities, positioning, viz component, layout, and maybe have the dot class in here. And let's go back over here and run this again. All right, so yeah, it's in the right place. And oh yeah, I love how it named it. Yep, viz component layout class. Okay, so it is 8:50, so I still have a few minutes. So if we go in here, okay, so let's go ahead and close this one and this one. So I have my class, and I really want to move this is the simplest one, this into my class. And it shouldn't need, it needs the viz component service. And I'm already, um, that's kind of a bummer because, okay, so this call is set position for viz component. I guess that doesn't make sense because, yeah, I guess you want to start at the absolute lowest level. So this gets a viz component and st visualization, and then it knows where to lay it out, but it has nothing to do with the um, actual little guy in here. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It has to do with the whole component. And that's why, to me, it made sense. And I'm still arguing with myself about this. That's why I'm still talking about it. But this one, I guess, is the lowest level one. So we want to pull this one out. And it will take the viz component and the visualization. And does it need anything? Does it? It looks like it's completely pure. It doesn't even use this. So yeah, this will be a good one to move over. And that is one of the major benefits of pure components. And I did not know this before I started this project, but one of the major benefits of having pure functions that don't depend on state at all, is refactoring is so much easier. Unit testing is a million times easier. Refactoring is so much easier. It's much easier just to grab this whole thing and move it into another function. Um, so here we go. So all we did was copy that over. It has no idea what a viz component is. So we're going to tell it to import that, and that looks like the right place to import it from. And it doesn't know what an ST visualization is. It didn't give me a blue one that time, which is weird, but it knows that it's an interface. And that's it. Looks like that is good to go. So looks like what I want to do is create a Viz component layout class inside of my animation service for now. And this is a whole new thing for me, and I could be going down a path that results in me just having to completely throw away um, my um, like start from scratch. Like I don't know. I really don't know if this is a good idea or not. So dot dot. I'm in animation services. So this is in oh dot 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 utilities. I don't know what I think of that. Positioning and Viz component layout class. All right, so we pulled that Viz component layout class in here, and now we want to create it. So that just tells it what it is. And now here we will create one. So now we're creating an instance that is not a singleton. It's an instance that's for this, that's minted only for this animation service. So nothing else can have access to it. These other ones in the injector go to the are singletons that are available to everything. This is only going to be for this. Um, I think there's a huge advantage to doing it that way because your risk of cyclic dependency bugs goes way down in this situation. And I don't think that you should create like an injectable singleton service unless you have some sort of state that that service needs to expose to the rest of the world or to the rest of the system. All right, Viz component class. Now down here, what we want to do is we want to replace this line. I don't even think it'll hurt anything to call it twice, but it's this dot viz component layout class dot, and we only have one function in there, and it accepts two things. It accepts the viz component, and it accepts the ST visualization. All right. So like I said, I don't think it hurts anything to call it twice. So basically, we're calling the same set of code back to back. I am curious. Yeah. See, and I think that is sort of uh, a good proof of being idempotent. And idempotent means that, like, whenever you give the function something, it always returns the same value. When you give it the same inputs, it always gives you the same outputs. Um, and So if you call it twice on the same thing back to back, if it's idempotent, you're going to get the same value regardless. All right, so then I don't think I need this anymore. Let's come over here. This is going to be the actual helpful thing. Let's see if it transpiles. Okay, so then we don't need this anymore. And we are down to 94 lines of code. Only and we get away from just pure boilerplate on line 60. So we are down to 33 lines of code that need to be um, migrated. And then once that's done, this whole animation service. So right now, I think it feels very like it is going to happen. We're going to get this figured out. I did not feel this way at this time last week. It felt like, holy crap, how am I ever going to tease all this stuff apart? And I do not know how you'd be able to do that if other people are working on the code base at the same time. Anyways, that's what I think today. I hope everyone has a wonderful day. Happy coding. Bye.